A teenage boy in Singapore climbed onto MRT tracks during train service hours, filmed a train rushing past at close range, and later, allegedly broke into an elderly woman's home and hid under her bed while running from police. And after all that, the court has ordered 18 months probation. This is one of those stories that sounds unreal, but it happened here, and it raises serious questions about safety, risk-taking, and consequences. The teenager is 17 years old, and because he's under 18, he cannot be named. The court heard that he was involved in 2 separate incidents in 2025, both dangerous, both involving trespassing, and both creating real fear for the public. The first incident happened around the MRT stretch between Simei and Tanamera stations. Investigators found that back in January 2025, the teen had noticed scaffolding structures along Upper Cheney Road, and he realized these structures could be used to access the MRT tracks. So he formed a plan. On the evening of the 27th of March, 2025, he returned to the area and waited for workers to leave. Then he entered through a gap in a fence. And to avoid being recognized, he wrapped his shirt around his face to cover it. After that, he climbed up a staircase and made his way onto the MRT tracks between Simei and Tanamera. Then came the most disturbing part. As an MRT train approached, he lay close to the track and filmed the train as it sped past. This wasn't after midnight. This wasn't when services had stopped. This was during operational hours, meaning trains were actively running and commuters were on board. Later, a video of the incident circulated online, and that was how the case came to public attention. Now think about the risk here. One mistake, one slip, and the teen could have been hit. If the train driver had to brake suddenly, passengers inside could be injured. If the train struck someone, it wouldn't just be a tragedy, it would be trauma for train staff, commuters, and everyone who witnessed it. It's not just one person taking a risk. It's a danger to the whole system. And then, less than 2 months later, came a second incident. At around 11 p.m. on the 16th of May, 2025, the teen left home wearing only underwear and shoes. Court proceedings said he did this after feeling the urge to climb. He went to an HDB block and climbed up to the 16th floor. A resident saw him leaning against a parapet, a dangerous spot, and called the police. When officers arrived, the teen moved further into the building. And according to the case details, he ended up climbing onto the rooftop. From there, he allegedly broke into the home of an elderly woman. And when he wanted to avoid the police, he hid inside her flat, under her bed. Just stop and think about that for a moment. An elderly resident, late at night, in her own home. And a stranger has entered and is hiding under her bed. Even if no physical harm happened, that kind of fear is not small. It's not just a youth case. It's a home safety issue. So what did the court decide? On Tuesday, the 6th of January, 2026, the teen was sentenced to 18 months probation. The judge said the offenses were serious. And under normal circumstances, the teen could have faced a heavier sentence, including reformative training or even time in custody. But taking into account his age, the court decided to take a rehabilitative approach instead. In other words, give him a chance to change, instead of locking him away. And this is where the public conversation gets intense. Because probation is meant to reform. But many people will ask, does it send a strong enough message? MRT tracks are not a playground. Trespassing there is not content. It's a deadly situation. And breaking into a flat is not misbehavior. It's a crime that causes fear. So here's a question that Singaporeans will definitely debate. Should the system prioritize second chances for youths who take extreme risks? Or should the punishment be tougher, so it stops others from copying? And let me ask you directly. Do you agree with the court's decision, probation instead of a harsher sentence? Or do you think the punishment should have been heavier, given the danger to public safety? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because stories like this are not just about one teen. They reflect a bigger problem, thrill-seeking culture, risky behavior for attention, and how society responds before something turns into tragedy. If you want more fact-based, detailed Singapore stories, the kind that cuts through the noise, make sure you follow this channel closely. Like the video, share it with someone who takes the MRT every day, and subscribe to 2230. Because the next viral stunt might not end with probation. It might end with someone not going home.